Karasuno is fighting for their last chance to make nationals against their greatest rivals, Aoba Josai. In order to truly understand their rivalry, we have to go all the way back to the Inter-High tournament where they face off for the first time. But even before these teams face off, this game has extra meaning because both of these team setters go way back and have some serious history with one another, which, we'll see later on. Both teams are warming up, so this is a perfect time to introduce our cast. First up, with Karasuno's main goated first-year duo, we have Hinata Shoyo and Kageyama Tobio, and their seemingly unstoppable quick attack. Then, our 37-year-old ace, Asahi, the Giga Chad Massive Schlong captain, Daichi, the final wall, Nishinoya, the genius middle blocker, Suki, the bald monk, Tanaka, Walmart Kageyama in Sugawara, and finally, our pinch server, Yamaguchi. But who will our heroes be facing, you may ask? None other than the greatest supervillain in history, Toru Oikawa, a man who beats children and the elderly without hesitation while destroying entire civilizations for fun. Alrighty, let's hop into the game. Yo, Tobio, try to make me actually sweat, alright? You are dog shit. We are gonna body you shitters! Hey, monkey, I was trying to shit talk my mortal enemy. This isn't your beef, so fuck off. But first play of the game, the ball goes to Oikawa and everyone's ready to see his serves, but before they can even react, he just spikes it in without hesitation. Okay, peons, I will be doing that same thing again, so try to keep up. Next play, Daichi gets the receive to Kageyama and Hinata yells, "Come to me!" while hitting a quick that they somehow block. He runs up for a spike again in last second, switches to a set to his teammate for the easy point. The next play, they receive while Hinata yells, "Bring it!" while Tanaka and Hinata act as bait for the back attack of Asahi, and then yo, that's why he's the GOAT, Kageyama, and my glorious king. Holy. Hey, monkey fuck. I'll be doing the same thing again, so try to keep up. Holy, bro. Kageyama has to be like a top 5 character in fiction easily. My GOAT goes up to serve and... ooh. It's okay, though. It's just like, that 1 in a billion chance. Unlucky, go next. Don't worry about it. The next up to serve is... oh no, it's the Demon King himself. It's okay though, because the GOAT Nishi picks it up no problem. Hinata runs up again saying, "Bring it," as Kageyama gives him a fast set into a free spike. Sadly, they convert right back. Daichi then receives the next ball as Hinata yells, "Toss to me," as he gets baited while Kageyama passes to his other teammate for the point. Now, you may be wondering why I keep saying what Hinata's yelling, going for the ball, but it turns out there was a pattern with what type of pass to give based on what he yells. And this fucking giga hyper genius supervillain Oikawa already cracked their code 5 minutes into the match. Like, bruh. His teammate mentions this timeout is super early in the game and that Karasuno will probably be on to the fact that they know, but Oikawa is like, let him know. It'll just put extra pressure on him. And yeah, just like he predicted, Kageyama is starting to get in his own head quite a bit, trying to dump again, which, he easily reads the block. They get a point back in the next play. Hinata yells, "Give me a toss," but, now that they know what it means, the guy nearly blocks it. So yeah, as he theorized, what he says equals the type of pass he will give. And because they can read it, it'll make Kageyama think harder with more pressure on him now. But they don't have time to think about that because it's his turn to serve again. He spikes it right at the bald monkey Tanaka, and this brother gets his arm nearly ripped off as Oikawa gets the point. Next serve, he targets the bald shitter again, and he barely receives it, but it goes straight back to their spiker for a free point. Oikawa is deciding to target him since he's their loudmouth motivational presence on the court. If they can demoralize him, the rest of them will fall quickly afterwards. He sends a third one his way, which he barely picks up. Hinata sets to him, and he gets blocked instantly. He truly is the Igaguri of Haikyuu. Everyone's worried about bro's mental, and before Hinata can say anything, he slaps himself in the face, locking back in. You see, what Oikawa didn't calculate for is that this guy has one of the most indomitable mentals in sports. Next play, he gets targeted again as he barely keeps it up with his chest. Hinata covers and Kageyama launches it over. They receive it again as the bald monkey screams for a pass and slaps his fat schmeat past 3 defenders, avenging himself, getting at least 1 back. Even with that though, the score is still 8-15. And in volleyball, as you know, it's first to 25. Once again, Hinata calls his pass, and weirdly enough, even though they can't read it, it's just still too fast for them to handle. Cutting back to Kageyama, he's really in his head now, constantly thinking and calculating what the best option is, and it's not really helping him to lock in. Even Oikawa says his biggest weakness is trying to do everything himself and not realizing volleyball is a sport played with 6 people in the court. He acknowledges the fact that individually Kageyama is a more talented player, but he doesn't know how to bring the absolute best out of all of his teammates, and that's why Oikawa thinks he's the better setter. They both jump for the loose ball, and while he's fully in his own head, Oikawa gets the ball over while looking down on him. This is the face he sees in his nightmares. Even Yamaguchi states that Kageyama is not playing like his usual self. And my goat is so in his own head, he fucking misses the pass to Suki. Oh my god, bro. Lock in. They are now down 9 fucking points, and to much of the dismay of Kageyama, he is being subbed out for his Timu counterpart. Sugawara walks onto the field smiling, bringing those much needed positive vibes to his boys. The next play starts, and Bro tries to spike on Sugawara since he's short, but Timu Kageyama switches places with Suki for the easy block. Next play, once again, after taking Suga's advice, Hinata knows when to jump in order to block his spiker's shot, giving them another point. Next play, again, from his hand signal, they score. He is literally manipulating everyone on the field like Ren in Blue Lock. Holy. Maybe he's not Timu Kageyama after all. Actually, no, I take that back. He's still definitely Timu Kageyama. Bro was just in his head freaking out earlier. Sadly, though, after a few more plays, it's back to him to serve the ball, as he gives a perfect serve in between these two so they get confused and not receive the ball. Then he switches to a super weak one, getting another 3-point, putting his team on match point. As he goes for the final one, a surprise to 0 people, Giga Chad, a reliable pillar, Goat Daichi saves it. He doesn't go straight to Hinata. He does this monkey hit while Kageyama yells, "You fucking suck. At least I'm not on the bench, monkey." They go back and forth for a bit, but sadly, they still lose the set with a crazy wide score of 25-15. It's okay, though, because they locked in during the end of the first set, so they'll for sure perform better during the second. First play, Goat Suki spikes in, giving us the lead for once. And I truly don't know how Kageyama doesn't understand this, but one of their players comes over to basically explain to him that every spiker is different and needs different passes based on their skills, and to maybe try to talk to them about what they want. Somehow, this is groundbreaking news for Kageyama, but in the end, he'll be a better setter from doing it. But yeah, cutting back to the match, the Demon King is up to serve once more. And Karasuno only has 2 defenders in the back instead of 3, with their 2 reliable pillars of defense, Daichi and Nishi. He serves a piss missile, and the GOAT receives it. What's new? Suga passes to the bald monkey, and he fucking scores it, cutting off Okawa's serves to only 1, not giving him a single point. Score is 14-13 with our GOAT still in the lead. Sadly, they instantly turn it over, scoring a few more. But don't worry, folks, because Argo is finally out of his own head and ready to slap the opposing team with his fat hanging schlong once more. He remembers back to what Suga did, entering the field smiling, trying to make them all feel warm and good inside, and he decides to try it himself. Let's just say it didn't have the same effect as Suga's. With that, Argo is fully locked back in the zone as it's his turn to serve. He hits it so hard that even the libero gets washed, giving our boy a service ace. Next play, they barely receive it, giving them a free chance ball. The enemies were waiting to see what Hinata would say, but he just monkeys up the middle without saying a word, getting a quick attack right in. Then, next play, Hinata feints to the side, hitting a fade away spike, just war farming on these shitters. Now, though, a new issue is entering the court with Suki. I haven't mentioned it yet, but Kageyama and Suki fucking can't stand each other, and Sugawara already told him that the key to this match would be him understanding each of his teammates. He gives him a pass, but something feels off. Hey, how was that pass, shitter? Bruh. To be honest, I don't like your fucking passes. Nah, fuck, are they gonna start fighting? Do I need to go over there and separate the 2 pretty princesses? Okay, what do I need to do? Oh, didn't expect that. I have my own way of doing things. So I'd please, if you will, like the passes to be consistent. I'm out here thinking too. And basically what is happening is that Kageyama is giving strict passes to where he believes is the correct option for Suki to hit it, instead of just giving him high passes so he can make his own decisions. But for once, instead of actually being a tweaker, Kageyama takes his advice and says, all right, we'll try it your way. And after taking his advice and able to do the hit he wants to do, he fakes a spike into a light tap, giving them a nice easy point. Both teams go back and forth for a second until Kageyama once again gives Suki another perfect pass as he gets a free spike on the shitter, giving them match point 24 to 22. Sadly, the enemies score right back, making it 23-24. And in volleyball, if it's 24-24, it's no longer first to 25, it's first to win by 2. Sadly though, on match point, he's up to serve once more. And this is where we get a flashback on Oikawa and Kageyama's past. In their last year of middle school, he was a prodigy, but there was one wall he could never overcome in Ushijima. Losing to him over and over again started turning him bitter and angry. Then in their final year of middle school, a new kid from elementary comes in, the genius known as Kageyama. Hearing about this kid pushed Oikawa to train even harder than before, even to his own detriment. All this pressure was building up, starting to cause him to fumble, and then in an actual game, he was subbed out for the new freshman 6th grader, Kageyama. And then later that night, Oikawa was training a young, impressionable baby Kageyama. It's like, can I have help on how to serve? Dude, I don't know what the fuck was going on in Oikawa's head, but all that stress and anger bottled over as he tries to fucking punch him in the face, only to be barely stopped last second by his teammate. His friend yells at him and he starts tweaking the fuck out, saying, I need to get stronger. I want to win. I need to beat Ushijima. And it sets his friend off, who headbutts him, telling them that there's no I in team and that there are 5 other motherfuckers on the field trying to do it just as much as him, and he can't do it all himself. Low-key, this guy would not survive in a block. But with that new mindset of having the strongest team, not singular player, opens a whole new world for Oikawa. Eventually, they face Shuri Torizawa again and lose, but this time they actually get a set off and he feels more satisfied than last time. And before graduating middle school, he tells Kageyama that when he ends up facing him in high school, he will completely destroy him, proving he's the better setter. Cutting back to the game though, he gives a monstrous serve that Goat Nishi receives. It goes right back to Oikawa, but Kageyama holds Suki back from jumping as he can smell the final play, with Oikawa crossing to the right side as they smack that shit back down to earth, giving his team the second set. Cut into the third set though, the score is 10-13, and our Goat Suki gets us a point right back, not letting the gap in points get too wide. And now, the mini GOAT himself, Hinata, is back on the court, fully revved up and ready to go. But this time, he monkeys all the way to the side of the court, hitting their ultimate quick attack. They're getting hype. And bro, look at Nishi. This guy is just having a blast on the sidelines. Sadly though, the 37-year-old man with a mortgage and 3 kids whiffs, giving the enemies the ball right back. It's fine though, because slicing through the court like lightning, he acts as a perfect decoy while Tanaka gets the easy spike in. Next rally, once again, he jumps with all his might, being perfect bait for Asahi, the ace, to get a massive spike in, bringing the score 15-all. Sadly though, they've actually figured out a way to stop his hide spikes by just not defending. I don't know, Hinata. I feel like you have a whole court to choose from. We got to be hitting those. And then Baro hits a dump on them. Come on, guys. Lock in. As if it couldn't get worse, it's back to the Demon King to serve. Baro hits the net for a 3-point. That is tragic. The next rally goes super long, and it can determine a game's momentum, losing a point like this. But, you know, once again, they cannot convert, losing the super long rally and going down 3 points. Luckily for them though, the next play the enemies touch the net, bringing the score 17-19. And now folks, we will be unveiling our secret weapon. Not filling me with a bunch of confidence, but I guess we can give this shitter a chance. He walks into the court saying he feels their heat and he gets scared. Yeah, dude, no offense, but like, can you lock in? Saying the air is hotter, get a grip. That's not how it works. This dude is a walking ball of estrogen. His teammates are nice though, trying to give him goofy poses, trying to make him feel better. Oh my god, bro. What are we doing? You are literally making sure every woman within a 473-meter radius is as dry as the Sahara Desert. He serves and... Get this fat monkey out of here, bro. Actually walking ball of cheese. Although the one good thing he did was he basically acted as a sponge for all the pressure so his teammates could lock back in. But with that, both teams start going back and forth until Tanaka gets blocked but saves it with his foot, allowing Hinata to barely get over the net for another sick point. Even with that miracle play though, the enemies make it to match point first, with the score being 24-22. If they make one more mistake, it will all end here. They get one back, and in the final play of the game to tie it up, Kageyama barely beats Oikawa to the ball, giving a sick back pass to Goat Nada, who ties up the game 24-all. Next play, Nada goes for another barrage attack, and this cheating monkey somehow saves it again. They counter, get the ball back, and he goes for it again just to have the same thing happen. He runs for a block, turns around, going it for a third time, although this time he didn't jump as high, which actually works out in his favor as he hits it awkwardly, giving them the lead. And then, you know, they get it right back. And once more, the Demon King steps up to serve. Quite possibly one of the worst times for this to happen, but the goddess of luck was smiling down at us as he fucking misses by a hair. Come on, guys. One more, and you're almost at nationals, and they equalized again. They keep going band for band until the score is 31-31. Have you ever seen a closer game, ladies and gentlemen? I think not. And after a full rotation, he's back again. He hits one of the hardest ones he had done all day, but surprise, surprise, Goat Daichi picks it up. Although not perfectly as it goes back to their side. Sadly, you know, they convert. Kageyama starts freaking out, and Hinata laughs at him for freaking out before he fucking de-atomizes him. Sadly, though, in the last moments of the game, they go for a crazy quick attack, and they get blocked, losing the match 33-31. Our heroes are devastated, as all their work was for naught, as victory was snatched from the jaws of defeat. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, because in the months leading up to the Spring High tournament for their rematch, each player goes through their own rigorous training to level up each of their weapons and develop new ones. They make their way through the spring tournament until they run into Oikawa once again, ready for their fateful rematch. But this time, the stakes are even higher than ever before. Remember our lovely third years, Daichi, Asahi, Sugawara? This is their last chance to ever play volleyball because it's their last year in high school. All the bonds they made with this team, the enjoyment and fun they get from it would all come to an end. So let's try to make sure and win this game for these guys' sakes. But without wasting any more time, ladies and gentlemen, we enter our long-awaited rematch between these two powerhouse teams. The Demon King is up to serve. But it's okay because we have, say it with me now, the Giga Chad reliable GOAT, Daichi. It goes over the net where it drops, and our GOAT Kageyama barely keeps it in play. This shitter thinks they're cooked because the setter touched it first when Nishi, their libero, comes flying in, setting to Asahi, who slaps his 47-year-old shimmy on their faces. But after their opening debut of the new Karasuno, we see this weird-looking character we've never seen before waiting on the sidelines. I guess we'll see more about him shortly. Sadly, after our opening point, Kageyama barely misses the serve, equalizing. It's okay though, because my GOAT hits a nice one-handed pass back to the bald monk, who brings the lead right back to him. Then one play later, the GOAT Suki activates his Sharingan reading, Bumkawa blocking his set. Then Hinata goes for his lightning speed quick attack, and again, somehow it's blocked. Luckily though, once again, Suki is there to pick up the pieces, receiving the ball. They try again, and with the last match's replay in his head, he locks in, seeing the gap, refusing to let it get stopped again, scoring the point back. Let's go, Goat Nada. Next play, he goes for a sideways jumping spike, just like the last game, but this time, not putting anyone on him doesn't work now because he can actually aim the ball. And yeah, I didn't mention this, but the reason his accuracy is better now is because he's actually looking at the ball. Now, you might be confused what that means, but yeah, in the past, he would just swing it with his eyes closed, and Kageyama would just give him perfect passes. How he made it to such a high level closing his eyes, don't ask me, but yeah. Now with his eyes open, he can actually aim where he's hitting it. They convert back sadly, but it's okay, because right after this, Monkey hits the net. Both teams keep going back and forth until the score is 22-21 with Karasuno in the lead. Our GOAT Hinata reads this Nuggets timing and blocks him, giving them a new 2-point lead, 23-21, but they make it back 23-22. Now he's up to serve. And I don't know if this brother's been like blasting trend, repping 315 on bench every day for the last few months, but he's gotten like 400 times stronger since the last time. Just watch. Even these guys are stun locked. Luckily for us though, it was barely out of bounds, giving us the miraculous match point. But now it's time for our GOAT to serve the ball, trying to win us the set. To be honest, it doesn't work, and they score back. Now at the score of 24-23, if Karasuno scores, they can win the first set. But if the enemies take it, it goes into overtime. First to win by 2. And out of nowhere, the other team raises their substitution thing.
With this treasure, I summon.
Making a substitution at this time of the match, and it's this weird guy from earlier. Karasuno sends the ball over, Oikawa gets it set into his random teammate, and then... Yo, what the fuck was that, bro? On first watch, I was dying laughing watching this shit, man. Because he just monkeys in at Mach 4, knocking the shitter over and smashing in with the power of God. His name, Mad Dog. Because, as you can probably tell, he plays like a fucking rabid animal, knocking people over, friend or foe alike. Hilariously enough, though, for our team, his spike was out of bounds, giving us the first set. But now entering the second set, he'll be starting alongside them so we can see more of what he can actually do. Ong starts our set hitting a home run, giving them the lead off rip. It's actually okay though, because Monkey Kawa hits the same serve, equalizing. Next play though, Oikawa gets up to Mad Dog, who's literally parallel with the net, running sideways as he hits a cross-court slice shot. Holy shit, bro. Not even 2 seconds later, he hits another one in for them. And then the next play, he hits it in again for a third in a row. Literally bodying his teammate in the process. This guy does not care. It's okay, though, because finally, this turbo shitter hits the net again, cutting off their streak, giving us the ball. They go back and forth for a bit when once again, he goes for it. Oikawa uses him as bait, giving his boy the point. And even though they got the point back, he is fucking mad he did not get the ball. They go back and forth a bit more and the ball goes flying loose to Mad Dog, but he's completely surrounded. He needs to hit it off one of their hands softly so they can reset the play again. And then... Monkey, what are you doing? You had no angle. Hitting the ball without all my might is some beta pussy shit. Okie doke. You kind of right though. That shit is boring unless you're slamming it in. Next play, Nishi receives, and when it goes back to the enemy side, they line up for another crazy slice shot. Luckily for our boys though, he shits the bed, giving us another free point. But yeah, this is where we basically learn that he's a super sharp double-edged sword. He can make miracle plays happen, but he will also throw multiple points being brain dead. His coach is a real egoist throwing him out there. I like it. Mad Monkey gets a point back, which lines him up for the next serve. Luckily, once again, he hits it with the power of 1 million exploding suns, hitting a home run for our boys. But with that, we are down 11-13 in the second set with fucking Hinata ready to bat for us. He serves it, which they get easily. We stop their attack, and when it's finally our turn to run in, everyone does their synchronized attack while he passes to Hinata in the back for his first ever back attack. Unfortunately... yeah, he gets diddled by the blockers. Did you think now was the perfect time to use that attack? Yeah, I did too. I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking shatter both his kneecaps after this game. And we see Sugawara on the side ready to go in, but this time it's not for Kageyama. They'll be running a double setter strategy to spice things up. Sadly though, before we see that, we need to deal with Oikawa's serve. Burrow's Predator Eye activates as he hits a diabolical, unsavable serve, diddling Karasuno. He goes again, luckily hitting the net. Nishi saves it as Suki sets to Tanaka, who slaps his shimmy on Mad Dog's face, giving them the point back. And now doing that, they're able to sub in Suga in order to run the double setter strategy for the first time. Goat Suga aims his serve right at Mad Dog, so he won't be able to join them on the attack. It makes the read easier, letting him save it as Nada monkeys in, getting them the break finally. Once more, he aims it in front of Mad Dog, making him fall over again and again. And like, if you've played volleyball at a high level, like, I could be wrong, tell me in the comments, but can he just stand like a little bit closer to the net in order to prevent this? I don't know. Seems like he's fumbling for no reason. Once again, because of it, they're able to dig the ball back up. Him and Kageyama switch places, going for a synchronized attack as Maiko is able to hit his spike in for his boys. He tries aiming at Mad Dog again, but this time he moves out of the way, letting his teammate get it. I mean, no offense, but how are we surprised they figured out how to counterplay this basic ass move? But yeah, with that, he's back in the game, scoring a point back. They go back and forth a bit more until this guy hits the net. Listen, I've played volleyball before. If you're not doing a jump serve, you gotta hit it over the net like nearly 100% of the time. I'm sorry. We go back to Mad Dog's turn to serve. Yo, what the fuck, bro? How are you bending your back like that? He just unleashed 120% of his potential in this moment. Holy. But with that, the camera pans over to the turbo shitter pinch server from the last game. But this time, he's locked in. We cut back to Mad Dog because it's still his ball. And once more, he pegs it in, giving them the lead 23-18. We were down by fucking 5. He goes for it again, but the bald monk saves it, giving it to Kageyama, who equalizes with Hanada. And now, it's time for Monkey Fuck to avenge himself from the previous match. He jumps, hits it. They think it's out of bounds, but it drops back down. He has avenged himself from the previous match, finally getting his get back. Let's go. Maybe you're not a complete worthless piece of sludge after all. Now they're only down by 3. He goes for it again, and once more it changes course at the last second, giving him another service ace. He goes for a third one, which they save, but even attacking, he puts his life in the line, keeping that shit in play, which Gotsuki picks up the loose ball scoring with, bringing the score being from down to 5 now only down to 1. They panic, calling a timeout, but that does not slow him down, as coming back from the game, he once again hits a no-touch service ace, hitting the net, scoring the game 23-all. Them winning this match 2-0 is now possible. Eventually, though, he fucks up and they receive it, passing to the shitter, which Suki blocks for the 1 touch. Tanaka saves it for Kageyama, who passes to the ace, who gives us match point, hitting it off these shitters who block it out of bounds. Victory in nationals are 1 point away, boys. Let's make it happen. You know, as a surprise to no one, though, they give it up and they go into overtime. They go back and forth for a bit until once more in this video, the Demon King is up to serve. And yeah, he hits another meteor shot that even Nishi can't save. They bolster their backline defense even more as he goes for another one. They get it up, but, you know, ultimately it doesn't matter because they get it, winning the second set, making the series go all the way. Remember, boys, if they lose this third and final set, it will be the end of all the third year careers. They cannot let it end like this. Off rip, we serve not the best, letting them receive and score, and now it's up again. Going down too many points this early in the match is basically a death sentence, so I don't care what you guys got to do, you got to stop this fucking ball. They get it up, but not good enough as it goes straight to Mad Dog, who slaps it down. He goes for another serve while the GOAT gets it back up for Tanaka to finally break their streak. But as I say that, Monkey Dog Boy scores it right back. They go back and forth, then finally our Giga Chad 57-year-old ace Asahi sits an insane curved serve, getting them a sick point back. They go back and forth some more, and once again he's up to serve. Yo, I could be smoking crack, but like, I swear to God, he moves around in this rotation faster than anyone else in the show. Is he cheating or what? They actually do get the ball back this time, sending it back over, and when Mad Dog has to get the last ball, Gotsuki with his Sharingan and 500 IQ switches places with the bald Igaguri to block the shit out of his spike. He's pissed, going for another powerful one, and fucking once more, genius 8,000 IQ Suki sidesteps that shit like the rag, calling that it was going out for them to get the point. With that, they finally take the lead 9-8. Again, another ball goes to him, and I don't know if he's like in his own head or what, but he is now full trolling, hitting the ball horribly into the net. Yeah, as we'd also suspect, bro gets subbed out of the game since he's tilting so hard and actually trolling all their elo. Hurry up and pull yourself together, monkey fuck. Talk about lame. You let a bald monk tilt you and now you're useless. You were chosen as a regular for us because of your skills, so do your job. In this fucking no-name side character slams this shitter into the wall, threatening him to get his shit together in order to not ruin the upperclassman's last dance. Holy shit. Random NPC number 462 going nuclear on Mad Dog. What an unexpected goated performance. And somehow he actually respects him for saying this and calms the fuck down. One of the most random unexpected scenes I've ever witnessed in the show, but yeah, sure, why not? Back to the game, the score is 12-10 with Karasuno in the lead. And Mad Dog, after getting leashed by this random side character, has calmed down, ready to play again. He runs in now, kind of calming down, hitting another crazy slice shot, giving them the point back. Next play, he serves and they save it, converting it into a quick with Hanada, but it's somehow insta-blocked as they convert on Karasuno again. Don't fret though, guys, because our 67-year-old ace knocks over this poor unsuspecting child with his grown man strength. The score is now 15-15, and for the 18th time in this video, he's up. to bat. Daichi the GOAT puts his life on the line, hitting a crazy save, but it unfortunately goes to the enemies, where spiky head Monkey hits a nice spike over Tanaka. Oikawa goes for another serve, which Nishi saves, and Suki outmuscles this frail little femboy with his raw aura alone. Hinata blocks Mad Dog's spike, and the ball goes to Daichi, who gives it to Kageyama, who gives this massive wienered set to our GOAT Hinata, who slams it straight down, mogging the shit out of them, giving them the break 17-16. They go back and forth a bit more until this goated NPC sets to Mad Dog, not amazingly though, and he just adapts, hitting it with his left hand, proving he's a bit ambidextrous if he has to be. Next play, they block Hinata's shot course off, can only hit it into this defender, but with his 4,000 IQ mega giga brain, he does this noodle soft hit, hitting it straight down so the guy can't protect it. Talk about thinking on the fly. Unfortunately, they score back, making the score 19-20. Mad Dog goes for his Giga serve again, but GOAT Daichi saves it as Tanaka gets the point, equalizing 20-all. And now they are bringing in the hero of the second set, the GOAT pinch server Yamaguchi. He hits it to Mad Dog, who reads it'll go in like last time, but he was actually wrong. It was going out, so him touching it fucked himself, giving Yamagoat another service ace, which is what I initially thought before fucking random monkey over here dives in with all his might, sending it back over. They go for a synchronized attack, and once again, the same guy hits a miracle save, keeping them alive. Then they score it afterwards, keeping Yamaguchi to only one. The score is now 22-23. If they score 2 more times, their hopes and dreams will be shattered. And even with that, the absolute worst person once again to serve is walking up to the plate, Oikawa. Bro, what the actual fuck are you supposed to do in this scenario? They are now 1 point away from everything being meaningless, but they're dope. Captain Daichi is still showing his immense mental resilience in their ability to score it back. He goes for it again, but who else? Say it with me now. The GOAT Daichi to save it from keeping them alive as Ong scores them the point, making them only 1 point away from securing a deuce. Kageyama looks over at Hinata and can sense an undescribable amount of concentration swelling from within him. They receive the serve, and while Bro's jumping for the spike, Hinata can smell out Mad Dog as he monkeys over to the side into Kageyama, blocking it, securing the point they needed with their backs against the wall. The next play, they block their attack as Suga the GOAT puts his life in the line, saving it. Everyone runs up for a synchronized attack, and at the crescendo of the game, my GOAT Kageyama hits a fucking dump over these shitters, giving them the lead.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Let me just say, for the record, my GOAT Kageyama might be a top 3 anime character of all time. I don't know, bro. Every time I watch this show, I just see him aura farming in every scene he's in without fail. And Bro's looking down at this dog, and Oikawa is straight up getting PTSD from Ushijima, about to snap again. Now, going for his 4th straight point in a row, Suga sets the ball to them. They give it to Mad Dog, who gets blocked by a fucking prayer signal, I guess. They go for a whole team attack, but that gets blocked too. Oikawa runs out of bounds, cross map, hitting a cross court pass to his ace, who slams it into Daichi. Tanaka hits the crazy save as it goes to our ace, who hits a backcourt spike. They fuck it up as it hits the net, but Mad Dog saves it. Kageyama spikes into Monkey Fuck, who gets saved by Suga. Kageyama and Hinata come flying for the quick attack as he gives a perfect pass to Hinata, who barely sees the gap, absolutely slicing it in through the shitters, ricocheting off Bumkawa, getting their team the final point to win them the game. Everyone's cheering as we get our last interaction with the 2 rivals. Now we've each won 1 game, so don't get cocky. You are dog shit. And yeah, folks, with that, our heroes survive another day in the tournament. If they win their next match, they make it nationals. Luckily for you guys, I already made a video on that, so check that out. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. We can like and subscribe as we are super close to 50K. Once again, thanks to our goated Patreon members and the special great tier of our Patreon with Goat Raishin, Ant, Savage Toby's wife, Silver King, and Jordan. And yeah, see you on the next one. Peace.